Okay, good morning. Welcome to Math Project 68.
Wow!
You ready? Ready to go on this one?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. Billy has a bunch of quarters, nickels, and dimes. So he has a big pile of coins, quarters, nickels, and dimes, that total to $4.25.
Yep.
He has 5 more dimes than quarters, and twice as many quarters as nickels. How many of each coin does he have? Okay, so do you understand the question?
Yeah.
Okay, tell me about the question.
Well, Billy has a big pile of quarters, nickels, and dimes.
Okay.
And they all add up to $4.25.
Okay.
He has 5 more dimes and quarters.
5 more dimes than quarters.
And twice as many quarters as nickels.
Twice as many quarters as nickels. Okay, great.
Well, we can call the coins X, Y, and Z. Quarters are X, nickels are Y, and dimes are Z.
Okay, why don't you write that?
So we got quarters are X.
Okay.
And then we have Y and Z.
Okay, well you have to write what each one is. So say quarters.
I'm just going to write
Quarters.
Q equals X.
Okay.
N equals Y. And dimes equals Z.
Okay. So right now you have 3 unknowns, and you're going to try to get it to 1 unknown. So see if you can find any relationships between X, Y, and Z.
So the dimes is Z. Well, I see Z minus X equals 5. He has 5 more than...
Please write your 5s properly.
5 more dimes and quarters. So Z minus X equals 5.
Okay.
He has twice as many quarters as nickels. So I can say this. 2Y equals X.
Okay. Very good. So there you have 2 relations between X, Y, and Z. And so you want to write everything in terms of, well...
I got another relation.
Okay, yeah, what is it?
X plus Y plus Z. Whoops, that's not that's a 2.
Okay, just put a little dash through it. That's how you can recognize that it's a Z. X plus Y plus Z equals
4.25.
Please write your 5s right. What are we gonna do to get you to write your 5s right?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I don't either. But we'll think of something.
So X plus Y plus Z equals $4.25.
Okay.
Now we can add all these equations together.
Well, by the way, that's not quite right. X plus Y plus Z does not equal $4.25. Okay, why is that?
It'll equal $4.25.
No. X is the number of quarters. So he might have like 3 quarters, 2 dimes, or 3 quarters, 2 nickels, and 1 dime. That adds up to 6.
Yeah.
Not $4.25. So now it doesn't have 3, 2, and 1. I just made that up. But so this equation's not right. It's not. See, X is the number of quarters. So X plus Y plus Z doesn't equal $4.25. I'll do it in cents. Okay. But what does equal $4.25? X is the number of quarters.
Yeah.
So if you have 4 quarters, how much is that worth?
$1.
How about if you had 3 quarters? How much is that worth?
75 cents.
Okay, so what do you have to do to the number of quarters? The number of quarters.
X.
Okay.
What do you have to do to it?
Well, if X equals 1, what's it worth?
Just a quarter.
How much is that?
A quarter is 25 cents.
Okay, if X is 1, it would be worth 25 cents. If x is 2, what's it
It
worth?
would be worth 50 cents.
Okay. If x is worth 3, how much is that worth?
75 cents.
Okay. How are you figuring that out every time?
Because x is the number of 25 cents.
Okay, so what do you have to do to x to figure out how much it's worth?
Times 25.
Right, so it's not x plus y plus z equals 425. It's 25x plus how much y?
So y is the nickels. There's twice as many quarters as
No, just
it's 5.
Just for y.
5y.
5y
And plus 10z.
plus 10z. Okay, so our equation isn't x plus y plus z equals 425. It's 25x plus 5y plus 10z equals 425. Okay?
Yeah. But how can we make this a bit simpler?
Right. How can we make that a bit simpler? Well, here's one equation you have. Z minus x equals 5. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
How can you write that? What does x equal?
X equals z minus 5.
Z minus 5. And what does z equal?
X plus 5.
X plus 5. Very good. So why don't we take this equation here and put it and use it for the z in this equation. So our new equation up here becomes 25x. This isn't the best way to do this, but it's fine. Plus 5y plus 10 times x plus 5 equals 425. Okay? And now we just have to figure out how to get rid of this y.
We could add both of these equations together. But they're basically the same equation.
Yeah, so what does this equation tell you that y equals?
Well, y is the nickels.
Yeah. So we have this equation right here, 2y equals x. So what does that tell you that y equals?
Y equals x minus 2. And y equals x minus y. No. What does it equal?
What does it equal? That's why I did this problem, just because of this step here. If 2y equals x, what does y equal?
2y equals x. What does y equal?
Okay. So if 2y equals 10, what does y equal?
5.
5.
Well,
How did you figure that out?
Well, because you divide. 2y divided by 2 equals y.
Okay. How about if 2y equals 20, what does y equal?
Y equals 10.
How did you figure that out?
Because y. This 2y, it's the same thing.
So tell me how you figured it out.
2y divided by 2.
2y divided by 2. Okay, so now, what if 2y equals x? What does y equal?
1/2 of x.
Right. Which we can just call x divided by 2. That's pretty neat, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, so y equals x divided by 2. Okay, so we're going to substitute in x divided by 2 for y here. So our equation, and I'm sorry, at first I went from here to here, and now I'm going to go from here to here. It's a little sloppy of me. So the 25x stays the same, plus 5 times y divided by 2. Okay, because that's, 5 times x divided by 2, right?
Yeah.
That's what y is. Plus 10 times x plus 5 equals 425. Okay, so this is going to be a complicated equation, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's simplify it a little bit more. I have 25x. What's 5 times x divided by 2?
5x divided by 10. Well, we can just bring this equation down.
Right. What is 5 times x divided by 2? Do you know?
No.
Okay, it's 5x divided by 2.
Oh.
Okay. And what's 10 times x plus 5?
10x plus 5.
No? Let's say x equals 1. What's 10 times x plus 5 if x equals 1?
So, well, 10 times 1 plus 5. So it's 60.
Right. What if x equals 2? What's 10 times x plus 5?
70.
70. Okay. So what is 10 times x plus 5 when you multiply it out? You get 10x, and then what do you have to add on to 10x?
Plus.
So remember, when x equals 1, you got 60, which is 10 times 1 plus 50. When x equals 2,
Yeah.
you got 70, which is 10 times 2.
It's 10x plus 50.
Right, 10x plus 50 equals 425. Okay?
Yeah.
All right, now, here's something that's a little tricky that you've never seen before. We have this 1/2 on the bottom, and it makes the equation a little difficult.
Well, we could get rid of the 1/2.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to multiply everything by 2. We're going to multiply everything by 2 to get rid of the 1/2. So it's 25 times 2.
50. 50x.
50x. What's 5x divided by 2 times 2?
11. Well, this half is going to get changed to 1 whole, and that's going to get changed to 10x.
I know this is hard. This is something you've not seen before.
Yeah.
So let's say x equals 4. We have 2 times 5x divided by 2. Okay?
So 2 times 4 divided by 2.
Now it's 2 times 20 divided by 2. Right? Because if x equals 4, 5 times 4 is 20. So what's 2 times 20 divided by 2?
It's 20.
20, right? So what's 2 times 4 divided by 2?
2 times 4 divided by 2 is just 40. It equals the same number.
So what's 2 times 5x divided by 2?
Well, if it's going to equal the same number, I don't understand how we're going to get rid of the half.
Well, remember,
Well,
you just got rid of...
It's going to equal 5x.
Right, you always got just what was on top, because the 2 times 2 and divide by 2 are the opposites of each other.
Yeah.
Right? Okay, so it's 50 plus 5x. What's 10x times 2?
And x is 20x.
20x.
Plus 100
Plus 100
equals 850.
equals 850. Okay. So 50 plus 5 plus 20. What's that?
75.
75x
Plus,
equals 850 minus 100.
so which equals 750.
So 75 times what equals 750?
10.
So x equals 10.
Although, unfortunately, that's only for one of the coins.
Okay. Do you remember which was?
X was the quarters.
Okay. So so the quarters were 10. Now we've erased our equations, unfortunately. So if we know the quarters equals 10, can you tell me how many dimes we have?
Well, twice. Well, I know how much quarter nickels we have.
Okay. How many nickels do we have?
We have 5 nickels.
Okay. So we have 5 nickels.
And then, so, and dimes, yes, 15.
Okay. Now let's double check.
This adds up to 425.
So this adds up to 425.
So what's 10 times 25? That's $2.50, just the quarters alone.
Okay, the quarters alone are $2.50. What about the nickels?
So 25 cents.
Okay, 25 cents. What about the dimes?
Well, 10 times 15, which is $1.50.
Okay. So what's 250 plus 25 plus 150?
425.
425.
Good.
Okay, very good. Okay, the homework problem is Olympiad 70, number 2. Okay, while I down, oops. Okay.